Camera. Alrighty. There we go. Looks like y'all can see me. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Get started here. Dreadnoughts today. Hopefully actually get back to our Titans. Don't be shy to say hi if you're watching, if you're chatting, if you're hanging out. Ask questions, all that good stuff. Talk about these things, or don't. You do you. What's up, Creamy? Yeah, you know, Creamy, I like to take things right up to the point where I go, ooh, I shouldn't have done that. But until we hit that mark, we're gonna keep pushing. But more importantly, I haven't done any decals on this guy. We got to do some tufting of grass on the base. Can't make it look like the Tyranids have completely wiped all the biomass off this world. And you were the one that said you didn't see the purity seals popping well enough last time, so we're going to work on that today. This is 100% from the Leviathan box, and then the actual basing bits that I did here. This is plastic hard and some gravel dust. So eventually I'll do a whole video on how to do that, but I don't know if you were here the first time I showed off. Interior floor is kind of my pride and joy when it comes to that flagstone style. So I'm going to do some more of that at some point, and I'll do a whole how-to video for that. But yeah, no, this is all Leviathan. I tend not to 3D print smaller stuff. Most of my 3D printed things go into the Titanic category. I can afford the smaller stuff. I can't afford Titans, sadly. One day. One day. How's your day going so far, Hello Creamy? Good stuff on a Friday, I hope. Hey, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out there that I have had some of the best rust, the most rustful rust at the very least, in my computer chair. Usually because I was absolutely exhausted otherwise. Yeah, there's no other way to sleep, but that is absolutely fair. Got the day off. Hey! Day off, doing some shoring. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. I wrote some additional fuckery for you guys' D&D on Wednesday, so that's gonna be fun. Getting you guys all actually set off on your adventures. There you go. I mean, is it really the might of Sanguinius, or is it the might of Sanguinius' sons who are still really pissed off about the fact that their daddy died terribly? I mean, I'm still fully on board with the conspiracy theory that Sanguinius actually bodied Horus. Who he sort of blood raged on his dad, too. I guess it's a fair statement to say that that is just the genetic rage of Sanguinius shining through his sons, but that was one pissed off Hawkboy, and you can't tell me otherwise. That's a shitload of Sanguinary Guard. I don't know, maybe it's just because I've always preferred blue to red, but I just never really got that into Blood Angels. I mean, don't get me wrong, the lore for Sanguinius is always just going to be completely badass, but I know what we do here. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I imagine for the campaign, they're like, hey, if you want to fuck up your army, you fuck up your army, and 2 minutes later, they're looking at everyone, oh wow, look at him, he's doing it.
I'll go back. Just let me go by myself. Mr. Brown is mad already. We lost you for 2 minutes.
Try to do a little bit of a metal discoloration on this plasma blaster here, but if it looks real goofy, we're all just gonna pretend like it never happened. I think that's gonna come through actually. Very lightly. That's interesting. Which one was this in? Which game was this again? That was gotcha. You know, I honestly, outside of the Total War games, which are just old at this point, I haven't found a RTS Warhammer game that I've truly liked. Although I did just pick up Gladius because that was free on the Steam store for a minute. I have yet to check that out though. I just have it downloaded and installed and sitting there waiting like so many other games in my Steam library. That's why I didn't even touch Steam Summer Sale this year. And so, nah. Nothing I want badly enough. Oh, it's turn-based? That's fair. I mean, that's at least closer to actual, Warhammer style. I think Gladius might be turn-based also, but I might be entirely wrong about that. Pretty well takes care of the Ballista's Dread, at least for the time being. Hey, you know, I'm never going to be able to actually win a game against somebody who knows what they're doing and is able to read through their codex and rulebook with, like, detail and care. So, while I can't actually table them, I can make them look bad on the table. That's the only skill I can bring to the game, man. So, you know, that's what I got. The scariest I can ever be an actual tabletop game is when I'm DMing and someone asks a very silly question like, oh, a warehouse, is that kind of like a werewolf where a person turns into a building on the full moon? And just furiously erasing all the notes that I had and scribbling new ones because yes, now it fucking is. Yeah, I'm down with that, Creamy. I mean, like they're gonna see what you look like and everything, and they'll see and know what you do for sure. There might be times when like table talk, it comes to bear, but I will absolutely remind them if it's something that you want to remain relatively secretive. That just because their players know it doesn't mean that their characters do. Or, you know, maybe they have their suspicions, but shy of the actual insight roll, they really can't be sure. I'm hoping that that homebrew deity that I got for you, that I put together for you, is along the lines of what you were looking for.
I hope you understand. I want to understand. I'm sorry.
I basically tried to one-to-one Alfarius and Omegon into that world, but, you know, deity-like.
I have concluded that they are all defective. But I am no better. I failed my mission and now I'm working with the enemy. And I can't even get that right.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have apparently hurt Amethyst's feelings, which was not my intent. If I've damaged my standing with the best gem here, then I've made a serious mistake.
I mean, the way I look at it, the entirety of you, like, hiding that is almost more on the level of, like, a character flaw or a weird character desire than an actual aspect of what you're, intending to do necessarily in a fight with the charisma and everything like that, so... I mean, obviously play it however you wish, because the dice will be doing most of that work for us, but... Yeah, it's unfortunately the camera that I'm using, Creamy, has a ring light in it that's really nice at a distance, but when I try to get kind of close like that, it sort of tries to readjust on its own, and it doesn't know what it's doing. It gets a little washed out right here too. I'm gonna have to play around with my lighting setup at some point, but I think it's just okay. Luckily, the intent right now is less how to paint and more sit and chat and chill and paint. So I'm not overly worried about it. If you or anyone watching want to know very specifically what I'm doing to get some of this stuff, I will very gladly break it down to you in detail. In further detail, I should say. Trying my best to be fairly detailed here. Try to hide all my crimes where I went way out of line or just very clearly didn't know what I was trying to do with where I did my reds on this and some of my blues. Yeah, maybe if I just... That seems to help a little bit, huh? Just a bit. How's that looking? I think that's looking pretty good. Hello to anyone joining in the chat. Welcome in. We're just doing some finishing up on some dreadnoughts right now. Clean up the metallics around the red on this plasma, and then probably work on the a few more metallics actually I need to clean up. And we'll work a little bit more on the base and get some grass and all the nice bits in there. Vox, you can come over and play with my toys any day. When am I painting your toys is my question. I'm ready to paint some yellow. More grass indeed. But I have to paint all my red and all my metallics before I can get the grasses going. You know I enjoy my grass a little too much. Grass is good for me. Yeah, I mean, Creamy, that's one of my favorite things, is just even as, like, Warhammer evolves and everything, they still keep this real boxy shape and, you know, one straight-up gun, one kind of still a hand, but with a smaller, kind of more standard-sized weapon in it. You know, the design language stays the same. I was watching a, reaction, these guys from, I think North India, watching Star Wars The Phantom Menace for the first time. Which is a treat on its own, just, you know, seeing people that have never seen Star Wars just losing their minds. But even in watching Phantom Menace, I realized that the design language of the Predator tank is in the Trade Federation droid tanks. Like, it's barely there, but you can clearly see it. So, you know, it's design language that really fits this kind of a world, I guess. Vox, how's your day going? I know you're doing some work today. I'm glad to finally be able to be awake for a stream. Yeah, Creamy, I don't get in on a lot of them because sometimes people's reactions are just kind of silly and standard, but I do enjoy, especially when people that have completely different, like, cultural reference points than I do, watching things that I love, just seeing what they take away from it. Yeah, phone call for unemployment. Oh yeah, that sounds lovely. So, they told you to sit by the phone all day today, and they'll get to you sometime in August, most likely. My experience of it, anyway. Alrighty here. I think I want to do some. I think I want to, I think I'm gonna do some, grass tufts on these guys so that the base gets a little bit more tied together. And then we might do some, water slide decals. And then possibly get to actually painting on the, Titan, which has these incredible dreadnought-sized anti-air cannons for its shoulders. So we'll start basing out the real basic crimson and kind of navy gray, almost black that Legio Mortis has. I'm not gonna touch the job conversation over there, guys. I'm clearly sitting here building toys for a career, so you know. Feels like cheating. Start with our Highland Tufts. I don't care what Big Lebowski, Little Lebowski, or whatever the fuck Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, played at that point. Official/Meow has the right idea in this entire conversation with the comment of robot merkins. Because that's where we're headed. How are you today, Official/Meow? How's everybody doing? There's a bunch of people who popped in here since it was just me and Creamy. I know how Creamy's doing. How's everybody else doing? Fair enough, Pogue. Fair enough. I certainly can't argue with it. It's just a wall of it, isn't it? We've officially gone to an 18+ stream. I'm with it. Oh, and Creamy throws the combo breaker. He's from New York, Pogue. I think he knows how to pronounce bagel. Oh, there is grass on the temple, Creamy. I actually had to take a bunch of it off because I changed up the entire plan for my Plague City that I guess I've just announced. Because the Plague City will be coming eventually. Yeah, Vox, don't discuss that too loudly, hey? Private messages there. Yeah, Creamy, there's no way I'm going to do a whole Hive Spire. No, I intend to do a, especially if I can get my local game store to let me borrow a table for a week or two to do the entire setup on, and then I would like to do a, like a battle report, but I have to really talk to them about it, and I have to get everything built first. Obviously, this is going to be like a long-term project. But no, I want to do a full, actual tournament-sized table. That one side of it will be more like ruined, standard Imperium, probably mostly based off of like Ultramarines type stuff, like Ultramarines banners and everything. And then the other side of it, like legitimately to the point where there's just overgrown, fungal covered, statues of Celestine and just absolutely disgusting kind of thing. So it'll be a little over the top with it, but the whole idea is going off of, I don't remember the actual books, but where it was Morty versus Reboot Gorilla Man, one-on-one hit right after Reboot got woken back up by his elf girlfriend. Seven statues? What is there a specific reference to 7 statues that I'm missing? Because I could do that. Like I'm actually down with like a bunch of crumbled statuary and stuff like that. I've got, even on one of these off-brand 3D printed Titans that I'm working on, I've got this, bent over broken statue that he's on. So I'm kind of down with that entire idea. I just don't know if that's a reference that you're making that I'm otherwise unaware of. As for Vox's cryptic bullshit, I do appreciate your Ferris Bueller level of machinations. Just no 7 fishes. Oh god. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, 7 being the number of Nurgle. The number of the dirty beast. Speaking of dirty Nurgle bullshit, this is going to be the next big official model paint up. Nurgle Demon Prince. Clearly done a little bit more work on than I normally would before I get to this stage for pre-painting, but he needed it. Especially with how he showed up in the index. Holy crap. That dude's actually going to allow me to take a feel no pain on an army that's supposed to be built off of it. But I won't sit here and bitch about that all day. seven fishes is a reference to Italians in general? Now I'm confused. Because of the seven fishes of Rome? Is that? Wait, no, those are hills. Okay. Feast of the Seven Fishes is an Italian Christmas tradition. Ah! The more you know. Shooting star of the rainbow. So, how's that little ruined base looking? I think that kind of ties together the Stomp It Upon Tyrannid skull. Makes it a little bit more ruined flagstone. I don't know, we can come back to that in a little bit. I'll work on this other one. Does that only apply if Christmas falls on a Friday? We always had like some kind of fowl for Christmas, turkey or chicken or something like that, I feel like. What kind of wine do you have with Italian Christmas fish? I always felt like Christmas wine should be like a red wine, something kind of, you know, deeper like that, but fish you always want a white wine, don't you? I might be very, very wrong about that. If Ox were here, he'd make fun of us for being so California as to wonder what the proper wine pairing is for fish and Warhammer, but hey. I'm a little curious myself. Well, Poke, I mean, they do everything while talking with their hands. They fought both world wars while talking with their hands. That's why they didn't do very well. I feel about seafood for Christmas though. It feels weird. Doesn't feel appropriate. Doesn't feel very Christmassy. Italy has a navy? I guess that makes sense. They're a peninsula. It's just the Mediterranean. It's not like it's a real ocean. The Italian Coast Guard? grass types for these guys. You've never seen Skyline featuring Dr. Turkleton? Really? It's alright. It's an interesting concept. It has a weird kind of like 50s serial bent to it in its own way. And then like tries to do a horror thing. I don't know. Yeah, it is a little Independence Day, but like I don't know how far into it you are. The twist? I don't know what to call it. Clearly there's a thought out, like, continuity that they wanted to go with, and it doesn't seem like they ever really did. It's a fun movie. Mostly fun because we get to talk about Turk. Our favorite, not a doctor. I'm actually disappointed in myself. I didn't watch Independence Day on Independence Day this year. I didn't even watch Independence Day 2. Put some water slide decals on these guys before we go any further. Something else I'm probably going to want to go over these a little bit with. So, now we get to decide on which of these decals we're going to go with. Yes, Pogue, the very same Dr. Turkleton. Yeah, Creamy, I think it actually switched over to the next playlist in the, music I don't have to pay for playlist. I mean, listen, Vox, if you want to pose for me, we can do it. I'm open to it. I've told you as much. I think the world needs more stripped down Vox Ursa. know I could get Emmy to agree. If she weren't, you know, asleep in the middle of the night in her country. Don't flip the table. I'm pretty sure that the table has your, I don't know if you're home right now or not, but if you are, I'm pretty sure the table has at least your computer on it. Possibly your fish. So, don't do that. Not with all 7 fish. So, I don't know if any of you are actually familiar with water slides. It's basically the temporary tattoos we used to do as kids, but for your models. Eventually I want to do an entire video series showing Kirk how to get his Gundams looking perfect with these. Our Kirk Thulu has some fantastic Gundams that he's actually done a very, very good job on, that just need to be taken a little bit past where they come out, you know, factory settings. And I think we can get them there. The important thing is to make sure that you've got a little bit of water where you want your water slide to go, so you can break any potential surface tension there. Oh shit, there he goes, he's table flipping. They're table flipping. The whole clan table flipping. Wow, look at him go. Well, I tried to save the table. There are some really slick Gundam STLs out there, Creamy. I'm actually, I haven't printed them yet because I needed to actually take, I need to take measurements on the Gundam that Kirk wants them for. But I have a set of Crocs that are gonna fit one of his Gundams. Yeah, and then the water, this is the slide part of the water slide. You just get it wet and slide that bitch right on there. Now it will dry on, and I don't have any Ard coat, which is what normally we'd probably use to keep that on there. But I've got a little bit of Lamian medium, which will kind of melt it on there. So once that water is all dried up, we'll do that. But in the meantime, we'll do his chapter and battle roll insignia as well. And then I have some time to figure out, I guess, what we're going to do in the next one. Chapter's going to be on the right side. Vox, were they supposed to call you back at a specific time, or was it just stay by the phone and wait? Well, that's fair. I mean, I'd give them probably 15 to 20 minutes on either side of that, though, because the government don't own clocks that work, that's for sure. Battle roll insignia here. If I have to talk to a government agency on the phone, I actually go out of my way to schedule it for when I'm pooping, and then I try to poop loudly. I certainly flush while I'm on the phone. Because listen, if I have to do something that I'm uncomfortable with, I'm gonna make them uncomfortable. If you ever have to be on the phone with a collections agency, I recommend eating something with like a lot of chili, a lot of fiber beforehand. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. I'm doing it. Dried out too quickly. Come on now. Moisten. There we go. Yeah, it looks a little weird. It'll be fine. You know what, Pogue? If you're not feeling sexy while you're painting your robots, what are you doing? And we can change it up. Not the music, of course, just the subject matter. You know, I was gonna save this for Sexy Slaneshi Saturday, but we can do hot models. It's fun. Al Green actually kicks it over into banging music there, Pogue. Right now, this is still just, you know, suggestive grooving. Maybe highly suggestive grooving. Speaking of highly suggestible pogue, how did your surefire thing go the other night? Was it as surefire as we hoped? It's officially 3 p.m. by my clock, Vox. Any word on the phone call? I guess I would take no response as a good response for that, or a positive. No response in the chat. I mean, not no. You know what I mean. You can figure it out. You're smart. I think. I hope. I do thoroughly enjoy that this one is just pure long-range fire support. They didn't even give him the chance at a claw. I think his only melee ability is Stompy Feet. Everybody just start grooving real hard. Nobody saw that. No mistakes were made. Just happy little accidents that make this all look better. Really trying to embrace my inner Bob Ross on these. Not allow myself to get frustrated. So I think most of you know me personally, or at least on some level close to that, so you know that that is a feat for me. I'm gonna hope that, considering I haven't even seen a peep out of Vox in a moment there, that he's on his phone call. Fingers crossed. Fingers, eyes, toes, testicles if you don't mind the pain. Fuck it, even if you don't mind the pain. Get torsioned. I think that's a pretty decent looking pair of dreadnoughts there. Kids, give me just 1 second to throw some of this shit away. Alrighty then. Jerry summons, uh-oh. That's not fun. The last time I got a jury summons, I was actually in the ICU when I was supposed to be there for it. And they've actually never called me about it. Oh, for state court. Hey, that could be an interesting one, you know? You might wind up having to decide whether or not somebody did some real murders. Very interesting. Be able to write this on here in such a way that you guys can see it while I'm doing it, so I'm just going to show it off after I put some little things on there. Barely see, it says Ultra. Because of Ultramar. Because these are Ultramarines. Obviously, putting a lot of thought and detail into it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy with how they come together. Have, one thing too, exactly. Exactly, just a first company veteran and a second company guardian, I guess. I don't know, second company's still technically veterans, according to, at least the way that my Ultramarines are going. Second company's just much more dreadnoughts and tanks. Boom. I think that's a set of all but complete dreadnoughts. Obviously, I need to do some plasma glow on this bad boy. You know what? Fuck it. Let's work on that now, actually. Already got my lambing medium out. Use that too. Hard coat these. Before I actually go in and do that plasma glow. Get these just cemented down on here so that nothing pulls them up. They don't start to peel over time, because that fucking happens. You know, Creamy, if I had LEDs that size, or if I had planned these guys out... Actually, you know, Creamy, if I had planned these guys out, and this tells you actually exactly how much I did not plan these two out, especially. I really haven't done a whole lot of other dreadnoughts. In fact, the only other dreadnoughts that I've actually done are 30k dreadnoughts, so it's the... Leviathan and the Redemptor Dreadnought, which have the actual helmet built in with the body. But these little visor slit things in the sarcophagus, for the most part, at least actually on both of these guys as I understand them, it's just hollow into the body there. That's actually a slit. There's nothing to paint behind it, which I thought that there was something to paint behind it. So if I'd thought about it ahead of time, I could have drilled out part of the back panel. I'll lift up what I just coated down. The back panel right here with the skull on it. And I could have turned that into a push button, and I could have put LEDs inside, at least to have the red glow out of the that front visor thing. But, like I said, I really did not plan these out ahead of time. I kind of just got them. And I wound up doing what you see here with them. It does, Creamy, but there's until you get to really high grade 3D printers, I have yet to see a 3D printer that does clear resin in a way that I really like. There's usually just enough artifacting from the layer lines or whatever support you're using on the inside. It just doesn't, unless you're doing really, really, really thin pieces. And I mean, again, it depends on what it is that you're trying to do. But if I was trying to do something like these guys, I probably wouldn't do them with a thin resin, or I mean a clear resin. Not with the intention of having them clear. But I do want to do some effects in clear colored resin at the very least. This flamethrower piece here, I think would actually be really nice with some semi-translucent red and yellow and orange. Well, probably just yellow and then paint it up with the red. Like that. Alright, now comes the real interesting part, trying to get this plasma glow. Try to thin this down to almost an ink consistency. The white. Hopefully it'll give us plenty of flow. Flow is the name of the game when it comes to doing these effects paints and getting them in there. Don't really mind needing to go over it with 1,000 coats as long as it gets down in those individual veins. What sucks about getting it this thin is you do kind of have to keep it moving, or otherwise it just settles. You can get very brilliant white like that. That very thin base white on all the plasma coils in there. Let's do that on the other side too. So now, I'm going to move the ballistus dreadnought out of here. Start with this Aethermatic blue contrast and mix this up into what is going to be our actual plasma glow color here. And that's going to include some of this Hellion green. Very nice plasma-y Necron dry paint. Should be all the pigment that I need. All this white back in here. That's a nice plasma glow. So let's see here. May have gone in just a little early, but that's okay because that'll help that to blend a little bit there. Oh yeah, Creamy, I almost entirely use Citadel paints. I know people that like Vallejo and all these others, but Citadel does the job for me. You know, Creamy, if I thought that Citadel was ever going to give a sweet brand deal, I would, but to my knowledge, they just don't do that. It's like trying to get a sponsorship from 3M. I'm just not into it for whatever reason. You know how hard I would rock a sponsorship from 3M? I'd make clothing out of 3M tape. They're like, now we got a product. We know how to sell it. I guess that's fair. I have a real brush problem. Yeah. Alright, so that's a pretty quick and dirty plasma glow. Probably clean that up at some point, but it's a little wet right now. Just don't want to deal with it. That's looking pretty good. Got a little bit of source lighting on there. Yeah. Like I said, needs a little bit more probably as time goes on, but for now, I'm happy with it. Just finish up the little touch-up bits, like the back rocket launcher there. That I didn't even touch earlier. Well, I think I'm actually going to put it to any of you that are watching, paying attention, that care. Any thoughts on a name for this bad boy? He's got a name tag right up front there, and I feel like calling him Bill. No, Creamy, my Dark Angels are Scottish. This has to be something Greek or Italian. Pavel Papanopoulos or something. Educated fly star. You know what? That's on me for asking chat to come up with names. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. I mean, that's fair. I just, I don't know. I like asking people for goofy names. And you know what? Y'all supplied them. We'll have to see. I've actually named one of my Warhammer units officially, and that's my Death Guard Dreadnought for 30k. And he is Brother Boagrius, which I definitely didn't steal from the 2000s Troy movie with Brad Pitt. I don't know why you would insinuate something like that. Absolutely true, Grammy. With that, well, they're almost certainly not done for me because I can never quite call these guys just done. That is a pair of tabletop ready dreadnoughts. Certainly not going to be upset to have them on the table looking like that. Let's see. I think that fits pretty well with the army, don't you? Blueberries all around.
Je te jure, ça fera bonne impression en ville. Tu sais ce qu'on dira?
Smurfatrons. Yeah, exactly. A whole village of Smurfs. I think we have to change up the music. I'm serious. There we go. Yeah, Creamy, I think that's the next TikTok I need to do once I get all my Ultramarines ultra painted. I can do a Smurfs cartoon intro with them. Yeah, with the Librarian and Terminator armor I'm actually going to have. a pretty decent Papa Smurf. So, not, you know, Gorilla Man Papa Smurf, but something along those lines. I had something next I was gonna do. Right. Let's glue in some Titan arms. It's the easiest thing in the world. Fit. Sit on that. Actually, Creamy, this is where I will certainly not fully defer to you, but this is something that I do want some opinions on. I have to officially arm this Nemesis Warbringer Titan, and other than the Quake cannon that's going on its back, for sure, because I already put in the ammo boxes and everything for that, I don't know what I'm going to do for the arm weapons. I was thinking about doing the Reaver Plasma Blast Cannon and a, whatever the Reaver Gatling gun is. Uh-oh. Let me turn it down a little bit. Hopefully that works a little bit better. You can hear me over the music now. But yeah, no, I'm not sure whether I wanted to do the Reaver Laser Blast Cannon, or maybe a couple of volcano cannons, kind of like I have on my Warlord Titan. But we'll see. I don't know. Any thoughts there? He's definitely going to be... I've done him up for Legio Mortis, as I'm sure you can see here. We'll be painting this guy all sorts of crimson and gold, and I think it's supposed to be black, but it comes across as a really... Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that Reaver Gat has the DACA, and it changes it up a little bit, because while the Volcano Cannon's really neat, it's kind of a one-and-done big blast. You can definitely annihilate part of a unit, but if you've got a couple guys there, a couple might be able to get out of there. I think the Reaver Gatling Cannon actually has the spread. But I'm definitely going to have to wait on resin for that, unfortunately. So... now that those are set, let's get you guys up to a reasonable height. And we'll glue some of these shoulder armor pieces on once I get most of my little units out of the way here. Do a little bit of Titan work each time. Oh, Creamy, let me get these shoulder joint or these shoulder plates on, and then I'll pull out the warlord next to him and do a big show and tell. That's in place. Yeah, Creamy, I thought on a couple of them about doing magnet setups. The one problem is the magnets that I did buy for the Warhound are actually not strong enough. And they're very strong neodymium magnets. It's just a lot of weight. But the other thing is, usually the way that I sculpt and paint these, I don't really want anybody moving. And the second anybody finds out that they're magnetized, people just like, they want to play with magnets. So it's still a consideration, and considering this is like $70 worth of Titan at this point, like it's really negligible. The actual cost that goes into them, it's just, again, like you said, time and effort. That might be something I do down the line in the future. One project that I really want to do once I get the YouTube stuff really up and running and maybe get a Patreon going and have a little bit more active support from some of the people that I'm going to need like electronic help with and everything. So probably closer to the end of this year, but I want to do at the very least, a Warhound Titan that has electronics in it in such a way that it's able to move its head, move the guns, and potentially walk. Don't know how stable of a platform it would actually be able to be, but I think I can get that thing to walk. And then Ground Effected can go fuck himself with his real flamethrower, real tank. Not really, I think that it's fantastic work, and Ground Effected is like probably somebody I really strive to be near with their work, but come on, really? That's so over the top. So now I have to do something more as well. But, see, those are on there, and then I don't want to do any of these big panels until they're kind of painted up and everything else is a little bit in place. But, so that you can see how he'll look in the end. Get this sort of in place. Can't really see it with that angle all that well. There we go. That's how that sits on there. And then in that little slot, there's actually a spot for what's supposed to be like a Mechanicus spotter, I think. But I will actually be putting one of these bad boys with his little galvanic rifle in there. So I'll actually be aiming out through the gun port. Probably have a couple different little kind of scenic bits like that. Give me a second to get this cleaned up. I'll pull the Warlord. It's really a Plague Lord, but pull the Plague Lord Titan out and you can see the actual scale creep on these guys. And then I'll express my desire to do a true Imperator Titan that is as tall as me. I think that would be phenomenal. Okay, prepare yourself, O viewers of mine, because now we show off the true titan of the group. To you, Nigel, Plague Lord of Nurgle. Slide him back here a little bit. Yeah. I can't even set that back far enough to get all of them in there. So there you go, Cranny. That's the real beast. That's the Nemesis Titan right there. And the Warlord Titan right there. Bring him back over here. Theoretically, you can see all the plague flies all over him. Quite a bit of work going on there. He's a very, very, very big boy. Hooray! Vox they called! Yeah, Creamy. Go into some of the details. a little bell ringer right there. All sorts of gnarliness going on the back side of him. Sadly, Vox, it fell off. You can see we've got a little ultramarine dangling there. Some dead corpses. Lots of little nurglings and a little plague cultist. Well, how well they actually shine through there. There we go. Tight as dick is the smell on the battlefield. No, you know, guys, you're looking at it all wrong. Titans are very much like gorillas. They're so large and imposing physically that they only need just a tiny, itty little bit of, you know, just enough. You know, Vox, I do defer to you when it comes to robot reproduction. So. I think I got the rust just about right on this guy, though. There's a little bit more that I need to do. I just, I was actually looking at a lot of Titanic photos when I was painting this, and when those millionaires got turned into a very fine paste, I kind of had to stop looking at those. Not because I didn't want to think about millionaires being turned into a very fine paste, but just, you know, there's other stuff going on. That's canonically true, Grammy. For Vox and everyone else's actual information, Nurgle does. He reproduces by hugging so incredibly tightly that he just squeezes you into multiple smaller beings, and then he encourages them to go out and do horrible, horrible deeds in the world. Vox actually tried to do something similar to me on my birthday one year, managing to break at least one, possibly two of my ribs with a single immense hug. And I'm not angry. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, other than the pain. The pain was bad. Anyway, don't drunkenly challenge Vox Ursa to hug you as tight as he possibly can. Certainly don't call him a bitch when you think he's not hugging you tight enough, because he'll break you. A salamander titan, all fire. You know, Creamy, I actually am supposed to be doing some salamander stuff for a TikTok friend. Yeah, that's correct. Vox, whatever doesn't break your ribs makes you stronger and shorter of breath. But no, Creamy, I am supposed to be doing some salamander stuff for a TikTok friend. So I might actually wind up just doing a All Flamers Warhound for him at some point, which I think would be fun. A little goofy, but certainly fun. Yeah, I'm gonna put this guy back and attempt not to break anything in the process. Oh my god. He's a hefty boy. Hefty, but very, very sturdy. This is the next one that's actually finished and ready for paint. As you can see, he has dead dreadnought, dead tank, knocked over statues, knocked over buildings. His base is all ready to go. And this is one of the Soullight Studios Not a Titans. I don't know what she actually calls her robots across the board. It's what it is, Creamy, is it's a giant mech that is 1-to-1 for a Warhound size. So put this guy next to it. But it's not an official Titan. So yeah, it's got a little bit of a combination of like the king crab with a Warhound Titan. So I've been calling these, because it's the same series. Here, I'll show you in a second. It's the same series that my Nada Reaver is from. So like this is very distinctly not actually a Reaver Titan. It's from that same line. Everything about it is essentially the same, except it doesn't come naturally with this big box rocket launcher on its back. It has a single like heavy-duty rocket launcher that I just turned into a little Nurgle giant skull sewer pipe thing. And then I put the standard Reaver Titan box launcher on its back. Yeah, and then I've just been dubbing these as, what do I call them, Gorgon pattern Titans. So, you know, you have your official Mars pattern, Lucius pattern, one or two others based on the, you know, way old lore. So these are just some Dark Mechanicum Gorgon pattern. And all these beautiful dead Ultramarines. But yeah. So let's work on some of these shields. Ooh. I didn't break that. Lurk Ursa. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to finish up here pretty soon, actually, anyway. It's getting a little bit later in the day. We're coming up on our... I think actually just past our 2-hour mark here. But I do want to get a little bit of the actual Titan work done. Seeing as I've officially decided that this is going to be Legio Mortis and printed out the shields for it. May as well get that nice crimson on there. You know, Creamy, the other thing is I do kind of have to stick with my, I guess not have to, I've decided to stick with my Heresy kind of everything when it comes to this, because then I can play them both as Relic Titans in 40k if I have them, you know, painted up in full standing Legio Mortis, or I can say that they're like Siege of Terra level for 30k, even if they're all mutated this way and not done up in proper Legio Mortis. But I can still use them with my Death Guard either way. That's what really matters. Absolutely not, Creamy. I legitimately know one person who has one other Titan that they can actually bring to the battlefield. These are pretty much just for Jack likes giant robots and being able to swing that around in the locker room, if you know what I mean. But you know what? I honestly, I don't even really play at my local game store. Mostly because I'm relatively new to the game, and I'm particularly bad. But no, I mean, most of the Titan thing is, even before I really got into 40k, somebody showed me the Titans as the first thing. Well, the first thing they showed me was the Dreadnoughts, and I got pissed off that you couldn't, or I got pissed off at the person explaining it to me when I described the dead Marine inside the, half-dead Marine inside the Dreadnought as its pilot, and he kept saying, no, there's nobody in it, they're dead. And I said, but there's a dead body in there, or at least a mostly dead body. That's a person, so there's someone in there. And this kid just wasn't getting it. I don't know whose autism was winning out that day, but there was almost a fucking fist fight. But Titans, man. Titans were the thing that first got me. I mean, I'm a Battletech kid through and through. Mech Warrior and Mech Assault and all that stuff was my shit. I just don't like that Battletech doesn't have good minis. I mean, there's some great printable ones. There's even some really nice ones that they make. It's just not on this level. And you're never going to see an Atlas that is the size of that Nemesis Warbringer Titan on the table. At least not to my knowledge. So... Oh, you mean the, like... the, AI driving robots kind of thing, Creamy? Yeah, that was, I mean, look, this was at a time when I was actively reading Dune and Asimov and a lot of these things in, like, early high school, late middle school, and a lot of these guys were just having issues with some of those concepts. But, you know, I think a bigger issue was that those early codexes, if you didn't have the best reading comprehension, they had the idea that there was just a corpse stuck in there for purposes, and otherwise it was a robot walking around on its own, and my whole thing was like, no, it's a dude that otherwise would die, and he's piloting the thing. But, look, I mean, that was just a grade school primer for me on the intricacies of arguing Warhammer and nerd shit. Yeah, exactly, Creamy. That's always how I looked at it, is it's just RoboCop. I mean, so much of the Warhammer stuff is RoboCop level stuff, right? We have this, you know, phenomenal body that can do all these things, but either because the rules say we're not allowed to, or because we can't figure it out at this point, or whatever, it can't do anything on its own. And, you know, naturally, until Call came along, nobody figured out how to just put a dude in it that could, like, ride around on it with, you know, an e-brake and a gas pedal. So, it was RoboCop 2 all day! Hey, Hut Armories, how you doing? Just over here discussing some of the silly intricacies of 40k and Titans and Dreadnoughts. I actually feel the need to show off the Dreadnoughts that we finished not too long ago. Because screw it, I'm very proud of them. There we go. Ah, I appreciate you watching. What are you building? Building on your end. I mean, Creamy, the best version of that story is the orcs managed to put several gas pedals in a Titan by teleporting one of their vehicles into a warlord's head. Oh, very cool. That's really awesome, actually. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people getting rid of their contemptors or figuring out new things to do with them. I play Horus Heresy, so my contemptor, the one that I have currently at least, is done up in a pre-Heresy Death Guard scheme, so he's not even usable for 40k as is. But that sounds awesome. Oh, that'll be awesome. So, like, some, what's that, like 6mm scale terrain? Everything's looking like Godzilla. That's really cool. Are you, 8mm? Oh, right on. Are you doing, like, kit bashing kind of stuff? Doing some 3D printing? A little bit of all the above? I know some people do, I think there's railroad scale that's close to that some people use too. Oh wow. Well, that's going to be awesome. You're going to have to send me the link to that so I can buy that from you. Doing like a full-scale 8mm Siege of Terra with something like that would be insane. It'd still probably take a whole table, but screw it, I'm down. I doubt that I would personally have the skills, but I'm curious if you think that you're going to be able to do something on the level of having be breakaway buildings, where they actually set multiple pieces in, so you can actually pull them apart in the process of the game, or would it be pick up the piece and replace it with a second piece that's modular magnetic? That's, yeah, exactly what I mean. That's awesome. That's really cool. I've never really gotten into like the I guess 8mm, the Adeptus Titanicus, the epic scale stuff, but I might have to at that point. Oh, fucking miracle, Screamy, that's how. I hope that's not too much of a deep cut. I feel like that's kind of a deep cut, dude. I don't know how many juggalos there are out there at this point. Not that I was ever a juggalo, but... You're an insane person. And I'm here for it, frankly. $5 Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, you could do that reasonably on a on an FDM printer with a couple goes. I mean, I think you could even cheat that and, you know, say, okay, this is this height, and then if you want to stick a piece of foam under it or something like that, that would work. But yeah, okay, that's solid. Yeah, that'll be cool. I mean, look, we've all known that GW's measurements are bullshit when they go ahead and say that the Imperator Titan is, you know, something like literally the size of a mountain. So, see, that'll be really cool. I think for like turrets and potential like watchtowers and things like that, you could probably just model out like a single piece or like a single inset, and then just do the different things. That's gonna be really cool. I'm very interested in that, as you can see. I really want to see what you wind up doing with that, actually. I'm hoping you'll have that all over your Instagram at some point. Screw it, if I don't see it there, I'm sure I'll see it on Spiky Bits. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Just give it like the most customizability possible. I dig it. So I guess you would know then, or maybe you would know. Is this the end of Aeronautica Imperialis? Is it just being swallowed by this new game? Have they said? I haven't really been following. I've just seen some stuff on Reddit and Instagram and the various socials. Like I said, this is kind of a scale below what I normally would go for. Yeah, what's the arena size, actually, on top of all that? Sorry if that's a lot of question, I'm just very unfamiliar with that end of the game. It's being swallowed, okay. What's the table size that you play that scale at? Is it the same as 40K and you're just playing that much bigger of a game, or is it closer? Is it something more like Kill Team? Or is this kind of more outside of okay, on 4x4. So that's Kill Team size, I think, right? That's fair. That's going to be very interesting. The ability to do destructible terrain, well, especially with, like, you know, 3D printers and just how much easier it is to do high-grade models at this point. But specifically having that as part of the rule set, I really like that idea. Especially with something like Titans that really, in the lore and just by the looks of them, would be bursting through these massive structures, these massive buildings and everything, practically throwing each other through them. Oh, Papa Dorn. For trenches, creamy? Of course. I mean, you absolutely could. I just... Why would you? God, latex house paints on Warhammer models. Ugh. Ugh. That's... pretty fucking gross.
Howdy, stranger.
Yeah, you should be able to post a link. With nail polish. Wow. Check that out here in just a second. Actually, I have to maneuver over to my keyboard from the painting station here. There we go. Alright.
You're so,
Just crazy. About you.
Oh, that is really interesting with the nail polish. That is an interesting texture too. Oh, I dig that for the reference. That's really neat. Sick. I'm actually not on the same scale by any means, but slowly beginning to work on a what's actually going to be my first home game board. That's going to be a ruined city slowly being turned into a Death Guard plague city for Nurgle. So again, not on that level, but the only other thing that I got going for that. So here's our first Legio Mortis shield. I think I'll probably darken the eyes of the skull here in a minute, but for now, that is looking pretty good. Just gotta do the gold trim on this one, this side. We can go in and start working on pulling some of those details out. Yeah, when you're done with those Imperial Palace files, for sure send me a link. I'll grab a set of them. Might wind up seeing what I can do with them out of resin just to see what they turn into. Although I do have my FDM printer set up and ready to go. rattling grime. And just kind of highlight some of our inner edges here up against some of these raised bits. Yeah, I never particularly enjoyed the 6mm minis either, HUD armories. Not necessarily for the scale, but just the sculpts at the time when they were doing them. Warhammer still kind of had that real goofy, I don't even know what to call that stylization. You know, everything was still on the kind of acid green, goblin green bases, and squats were still rocking, you know, battle trains. I don't know. No hate to it by any means, but it was just still kind of in that slightly more goofy than cool realm, certainly at that scale. I feel like now they've kind of gotten it to the point where, like, it's taking itself just as seriously as it needs to. Really, no more, no less. Or hopefully no more, no less. Oh, the round bases look so much better, I agree. I don't think that the squats do have Titan Screamy. They have really big, weird battle bus things. And the squats actively trade with the Tau, so I wouldn't see them having any trouble siding with them, at least as allies in some battles. I think the squats are probably one of the few completely sovereign groups that the Tau are probably on actually pretty decent terms with, other than, you know, probably making some very Tau demands of people that don't like being demanded. Yeah, the armored land train thing, that's what I'm thinking of when you think of like a Titan for squats, but again, that was on that level of like borderline too silly for me. Which is a weird place to be for Warhammer, because Warhammer's already pretty fucking silly in a lot of ways. And I actually usually like that silliness quite a bit. For whatever reason, they got into, here's a battle train, and I thought, nah, that's a little strange. A little too strange. I would actually love it if there were Chaos Tau and legitimately their entire thing was just the greater bad. Like, kind of just legitimately, I don't know, just fuck everything, I guess. I would love to see Cornate Farsight, or if not Farsight himself, one of his 7 special followers or whatever. Or, you know, they've kind of done this, at least in the lore in the past. Let Farsight go, or Farsight go a little coronate and then bring him back. That'd be very interesting. You have one Tau that's kind of figured out the whole Chaos Gods thing, and he's not with it. I hope that they don't really do any Malice storyline stuff. If they want to do a 5th Chaos God, just stick with Vashtor. Vashtor's cool. He's got an amazing model right now. Nobody's going to get upset if Vashtor gets his own grip of Dark Mechanicum models, because people have wanted them forever and a half. I certainly do. I'd start a whole new army for Dark Mechanicum. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I know. For Farsight, he basically is looking right down the barrel of some Coronate Chaos. Creamy, I don't know if you necessarily get to participate if you're too busy having your backyard wrestling match to actually be involved in the great game. That being said, I'm never actually going to get upset with the backyard wrestling match that is Gorka Morka. Alright guys, I just don't have a whole lot else prepared right now that I am ready to go into. I thought that I was ready to paint this Titan, and I got these Dreadies done, and I'm just kind of fading fast, but it's well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now, and I think that that's sapping me even with the air conditioning on in here. But that's the bulk of what we got done today with our almost 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's not a bad stream by any means. Yeah, that's the plan, Creamy. I need to at least test the blood sugar. I couldn't tell you if it's up or down. It might actually be perfect right now, and I'm just kind of been up since 6 a.m., but yeah, I'm very happy with our, what is this, I don't remember what he is. Is that the Redemptor Dreadnought? Yeah, I think that's the Redemptor Dreadnought right there. And the Ballistus Dreadnought here. I think the only one that I need left at this point is the Brutalis, which I actually do have my eyes on one as soon as he comes out in his own kit. But I really did not want to buy that Scions of Ultramar box or whatever the fuck it was. So, alright kids, well I appreciate y'all being here for the stream. Whether you're here for the full 2 hours and however long we've gone now, almost 3 hours, or even if you're just joining in. If you're just joining in, I'm so sorry that I'm going to be signing off in just a minute, but please hit that follow button if you haven't already. And yeah, those of you that are with us for any of the other Garbage Brigade stuff, I will surely see you either later tonight or tomorrow for more games. Creamy, at the very latest, I will see you on Wednesday for D&D. Everybody else, have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever fuck time it is, wherever you are. And, yeah, go do something creative and fun today. Alright, everybody. Goodbye.